Woo! What's going on, guys? Norms Forum coming at you guys today with another video. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Detroit Lions going against the Dallas Cowboys. This is the preview. The Lions at 1-4, fourth in the NFC North, and Dallas Cowboys at 4-2, third in their division. The NFC East is actually really good this year, minus the Washington Commanders, with the Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys all being really good except for Washington. But this is the preview, and we are coming off a bye week. The Cowboys are coming off a loss against the Philadelphia Eagles, and we've got 2 weeks. We've had 2 weeks to prepare for the Cowboys. Okay, 2 weeks. Now let's get to the injury report right away. It's long for the Detroit Lions, but we're going to get to something really quick though. A couple reserve lists. This is a reserve list news. Pretty important, actually, I think. Both edge Joshua Pascal and cornerback Jerry Jacobs have been taken off the PUP. We all knew that, the physically unable to perform list, and have been practicing, okay? Now, we know all that. I just made a video about Pascal coming back, and hopefully Jerry Jacobs is on his way too. Now, when you get taken off that PUP list, you go on a 21-day evaluation window. If they don't get activated by the 21st day, they will go on IR and miss the rest of the season. They are both 17 days off that PUP list. Okay, so that gives them up until Tuesday to activate them. But I'm guessing they're going to get activated. One of them, at least Pascal, is going to get activated. Maybe they activate Jerry Jacobs after this football game, like on a Monday or a Tuesday. Not too sure what's going on with Jerry Jacobs. Don't know if he's going to play this Sunday, but it looks like Pascal's ready to go. But they only have a few more days to do this, Tuesday to be exact, to get them to put these guys on, activate them onto the 53, and if they don't, they're done for the year. So Pascal for sure, still waiting on Jerry Jacobs. He might not play this week, but they might activate him on like a Monday. So that means he can play for following week 8. I think it's against the Miami Dolphins. I'm not 100% sure who we're playing next week. But let's get to the injury report. And it's long. Wide receiver DJ Chark. He is out with an ankle injury. He was seen walking around with a walking boot. Looks like there's a chance he could go on IR. Don't really know what's going on with him, but it does not look good for him right now. Offensive tackle Matt Nelson with a calf. He's out as well. Defensive end Charles Harris with the groin out. Cornerback Bobby Price with the knee out. Safety Ifeatu Melifonwu with an ankle injury. He is out as well. Bobby Price going to miss him on some special teams. Charles Harris, we're missing that pass rush. Might see a lot of John Kaminsky. And then offensive tackle Matt Nelson, like I talked about, he comes in as that 6-0 lineman. That's not happening this week. And then you got safety Ifeatu Melifonwu, who are trying to get going, but he just can't seem to stay healthy as well. So those 4, 5 players are out right now. And then we got running back DeAndre Swift with an ankle and shoulder. Wide receiver Josh Reynolds with a knee. Defensive lineman John Kaminsky with the wrist. Looks like he'd be playing though. Then linebacker Chris Bohr with the knee. And cornerback Will Harris with the groin. Those guys were all limited practice pretty much throughout the whole week. They are questionable going into Sunday. I think we're going to see a few of these guys in there. Josh Reynolds might not play. Don't really know what's going on just yet. DeAndre Swift kind of they flip a coin. Don't really know what's going on with them, but Dan Campbell's kind of being a little bit coy with the media, not really giving out anything. So there's going to be a few questionables, but those guys are at least, they had some limited practice and they will be questionable. Now full practice, these are guys that are coming off an injury. Wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown had an ankle. Left tackle Taylor Decker, his personal. He had a baby, him and his wife. Congratulations on their first child. And then center Frank Ragnow with a foot. Full practice on Friday, so these guys are going to be going 100% on Sunday. Good to see Amon-Ra St. Brown back. That's really nice. Then the Dallas Cowboys. There's nobody hurt on this damn team. Nobody. Offensive tackle Matt Willets had a shoulder He was limited at practice. He's questionable. All the other guys right here that I'm going to name all had injuries. Defensive tackle Quentin Bohanna, shoulder. Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, wrist. Linebacker Devin Harper, Achilles. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb with a hip. Offensive tackle Jason Peters with a chest. Quarterback Dak Prescott with a right thumb injury. Tight end Dalton Schultz with the knee. All full practice. They're all going on Sunday. They got nobody hurt. Nobody. And we got 100,000 guys hurt. It's crazy. It's just crazy. To me, that's crazy. I just don't what's going on in Detroit, man, where everybody gets hurt. It's so weird. But anyways, nobody hurt really on the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone's a go. Dak's back. CeeDee Lamb's good to go. Schultzy. They're all coming. Now let's talk about some Lions offense and Cowboys offense, Lions defense, Cowboys defense. We're going to go right now. This is per game, the offense. The Lions, you guys know how good our offense is. 423.6 total yards per game. That puts us at second in the league. 260.4 yards per game passing. That puts us at seventh in the league. 151.4 yards rushing per game. Puts us at seventh in the league. We score 28 points a game, puts us at third in the league, and we 36.9% third down percentage, third down conversion. We are third in the league there. Great offense for the Detroit Lions. You guys know all about the offense. Now the offense for the Dallas Cowboys. 311.2 yards per total yards, puts them at 28. They pass for 182 yards a game. That puts them at 27. You know, we saw mainly Cooper Rush kind of being like that game manager, being safe. Puts them at 27. They rush the ball at 118.8 yards per game. Puts them at 16, around middle of the pack, even a little bit better, or right in the middle actually. That's right down the middle at 16. So there's 32 teams. So divided by 2. You know what I'm saying? Or times 2 actually. Times 2. Sorry. So that puts them right in the middle of the pack. And then the points, they only score 18.3 points per game. That puts them at 23. And then their third down conversion rate is at 32.1%. That puts them at 29. So they don't have a really great offense. They can run the ball a little bit though. And we'll see what happens when Dak's back. Now let's go to the defense. You guys know what we're all about. Our defense gives up 437.2 yards per game. Puts us at 32. Our passing defense gives up about 261 a game. Puts us at 26. We give up 167.6 yards on the ground rushing. That puts us at 32. We give up 34 points a game. Puts us at 32. And our third down conversion rate against is 50%. That puts us at 32. So we are an absolute atrocious defense. Just so bad, it's not even funny. All kinds of different changes are supposed to be coming. They got everybody in different spots. Hutchinson's going to be lined up different spots. Got Pascal back. Maybe Jerry Jacobs. Kaminsky's back. There's a few guys back. So not that it's going to get fixed because there's a few guys coming back, but it's a little bit better. Now let's talk about this Dallas defense, which they are a wrecking ball. They give up 329.3 yards a game total. That puts them at number 9 in the league. They give up 183.5 yards passing a game. That puts them at 4. A great passing defense. They give up 120.7 on the ground. Puts them at 19, so you can run on them a little bit. And we have a fantastic running game. So that puts them there. We can run on this team a bit. Now, they give up 16.3 points a game. That puts them at 3rd overall in the league. That's fantastic. And they give up third down conversion rate, 35.2 third downs converted into first downs. That puts them at 8th in the league. So a fantastic defense all around. You can run on them a little bit, but we'll talk about that in a little bit right now. Let's go over this Cowboys roster though. Quarterback, Dak Prescott. He's back. Got hurt in week 1. Cooper Rush came in, won a bunch of games. He wasn't the sole reason why they won, but he wasn't the reason why they were losing either, because they weren't losing with him. I think they lost out one game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. If Prescott gets hurt again, he's got that sore thumb or that banged up thumb, Cooper Rush comes in again. But it looks like Dak will be ready to go against Detroit. Then they got running back Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, two really solid running backs. Ezekiel's not the same Ezekiel of old, but he's still, man, he can, he still tries to run over you. And he's just a big guy. He's a physical running back. And Tony Pollard can do a little bit of everything. They have a really solid running game. Then they got wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, kind of a guy that I think kind of came out of nowhere. And then Michael Gallup. They don't really use anybody else in that wide receiver core, just those three. Gallup's kind of coming back from injury. He's been activated for the past 2-3 games. So they got three solid wide receivers. Tight end, they use them all. Tight end Jake Ferguson, Dalton Schultz, and then Peyton Hendershot. Their O-line, not the O-line of old, but it's still a pretty decent O-line. Not great in the passing department, but they can run the football. Their left tackle, Tyler Smith, who's a rookie. Right tackle, Terrence Steele. Left guard, Connor McGovern. Right guard, Zach Martin, one of the best right guards in all of football, if not the best. And center, Tyler Biadasz. I don't know if I'm saying his name, but that's their roll line right there. Like I said, they're not great in the pass blocking, but they can really run the football really well with that O-line. And then defense, lights out defense. Defensive lineman, defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence. Solid kid, man. Gets to the quarterback, lives in the backfield, playmaker. Defensive end, Dorrance Armstrong. Remember this kid's name. This kid's very underrated on that defensive line. Because of Lawrence and pretty much Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. Look out for Dorrance Armstrong. He gets to the quarterback. He makes a lot of plays. You heard it here first. Look for that kid because they need to know where that kid is. Defensive end, Dante Fowler. Jr. Defensive tackle, Osa Odigizuma. Defensive tackle, Neville Gallimore, who's part Canadian. Not a boy. Defensive end, Sam Williams. Defensive end, Chauncey Golston. Defensive tackle, Quinton Bohanna, and the defensive tackle, Tristan Hill. They rotate their defensive tackles and their defensive ends in a lot. DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons don't come off the field much, but everybody else kind of rotates in and out. They have a really good defensive line. They just have a great unit. The linebacking core is Micah Parsons. They even use him on the defensive line too. So he's a linebacker / defensive end, and he's one of the best. He's one of the best defensive players in all of football. He's an absolute stud. You'll be seeing him going up against Penei Sewell, our right tackle. If he's lined up on him, it should be some good matchups there. Sewell's in for a tough go. I think it should be a good battle though. Then they got Leighton Vander Esch, who's another good linebacker. Then they got Anthony Barr, who they picked up, who was kind of sitting around waiting for a team to pick him up, I believe. Used to be a former Minnesota Viking, and they pretty much use those three linebackers a lot: Parsons, Vander Esch, and Anthony Barr. And then DBs, man, they got a safety named Donovan Wilson. Look out for him too. He's a guy that's a playmaker. He's all over the field, banging, hitting, getting to the quarterback, making plays everywhere. Safety Malik Hooker, cornerback Anthony Brown, cornerback Jordan Lewis, former Michigan Wolverine. Cornerback Trayvon Diggs, one of the most instinctive corners in the league. He's a gambler. He takes a lot of chances, so you can burn him sometimes. I think he was one of the best playmakers last year, 2021, Trayvon Diggs, but he gave up the most yards in the league because he's a risk taker. He's a risk taker. He's not doing that as much this year. He's locking wide receivers down this year. He's only got a couple picks, but he's still a ball hawk. But he's locking guys down a lot better than he was last year. Last year he had double-digit picks, but he gave up a ton of yards and a lot of touchdowns. But this year he's kind of concentrating, it seems, more on his cornerback skills more than going after the football. So he'll be locking up somebody on Sunday. Then safety, Javon Curse, and then another safety, Deron Bland, who's a rookie. I believe he was a 5th-round pick. That's a very exciting defense to watch. Fortunately, they're going up against our guys, and this is a good matchup for our offense. But I'm going to talk the Lions O versus the Cowboys D. Now, I've been kind of talking about it here and there, but our offense is explosive. We We gained a total, like a ton of yards, over 423 yards to be exact, 423.6. We're second league in total yards. And we score. And we score a lot of points. We average 28 points. This is a team that only gives up, and the Cowboys, only 18 points per game, 18.3 to be exact. So this is going to be a really good matchup for our O versus their D. It's like two of the best in the league. Plain and simple. Units, two of the best units in the league. Goff's having a good year. Our running backs are having a good year. We're starting to get healthier again in the wide receiver department with Amon-Ra St. Brown back in the mix. So, but what we can do against this defense, we can run the ball a little bit against them. They give up 118.8 on the ground. We're gonna have to really keep that defense on its heels, because if we get down early in this game, and we have to drop back off. Rest in peace, Jared Goff. And I love our O-line. I do. I love our O-line. I think it's good. But one thing they do give up a lot of hits to the quarterback. You know, they haven't gotten Goff sacked a ton, but they do give up some quarterback hurries. They do give up some quarterback hits. That's fine. It's part of the football. That's part of the game. But you don't want this Cowboy defense coming. You don't want Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence pinning their ears back and coming back if we're down by like 17 real early, real quick. 14, 17, 20. If we're down like that, it's going to be a long day for this offense, because they will be coming, that Cowboys defense. And it really worries me a lot, because they got playmakers on three levels of the football field. Lawrence, Parsons, Van Der Esch, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker. All those guys make plays. Trayvon Diggs. They got stars, superstars across that defense. That's what really worries me. So they're going to have to really bang out the run, hit him with a lot of quick shots. I don't want to see Goff dropping back 7-step drops, 5-step drops. They have to be really careful with that. Ben Johnson really needs the game plan around Parsons and Lawrence, because they're coming. Those guys are coming all day. They got to Jalen Hurts last week. Even though they lost the football game, they sacked him 4 times, hit him a bunch. And Jalen Hurts can move. A kid can use his legs. Jared Goff can't. Jared Goff is not a guy that's going to escape Micah Parsons or DeMarcus Lawrence. So I don't care how good our O-line is, they're going to get exploited sometimes. You know, I love the makeup of our O-line, but in the long run, if we're down by a ton, the defense is going to win that matchup. That's just the way football works, man. So we're going to have to hit them with that run game. A lot of short stuff to the tight ends, to a lot of the balls to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let's hopefully Swift can get in there, catch some balls out of the backfield too, run the ball with Jamal and Craig Reynolds. That's how we're going to keep in this game. Now we'll talk a little bit of Lions defense versus that Cowboys O. Now that Cowboys O, it's nothing special. Okay, Dak's back. He might be a little bit rusty. You know, he played week 1, got hurt. Now he's back in week 7. He hasn't played in over a month, longer than that. So he could be a little rusty. I know he's itching to go. Dak's prone to making mistakes too, though. Dak is a better quarterback than Cooper Rush. That's not even an argument. People shouldn't even argue that. Okay? Dak is the better quarterback, but the good thing is maybe he's a little rusty. He could be a little rusty coming back, could be a little bit fired up. But he's a better quarterback overall than Cooper Rush. That's not even a question. So people saying that, you know, oh man, I'd rather face Cooper Rush or I'd rather face Dak because of Cooper Rush winning those games. Cooper Rush wasn't winning football games. The defense and the running game were winning Dallas games. That's why they were winning. So be careful what you wish for. But Dak's a good quarterback. He really is, man. He's a good quarterback. He gets the ball out quick. He can use his legs if he needs to. But they got that rust thing going on. So hopefully he's a little bit rusty then. Yeah, I just hope he's a little bit rusty. So, man, that's what we're kind of banking on. Now, what the Cowboys offense can do, though, too, they can run the football. Like, they run the football pretty good. Um, they're 118.8 on the ground. They're 16th in the league. Yeah, I kind of messed that up. Their defense gives up 120.7, which puts them at 19, so it's below average. But yeah, that they give up. They can run for about 118.8 a game. They got Tony Pollard. They got Ezekiel Elliott. Those two guys can still run the football. Especially, Zeke is not the same Zeke, like I said, but he runs the ball well. And Tony Pollard's kind of used all over the place. And then the wide receivers, man, they got a game breaker in CeeDee Lamb. Gets open, he's fast. You know what I mean. He's prone to dropping some balls though, but he's probably really excited that his boy is back, Dak Prescott. And then Noah Brown, kind of a guy that I thought came out of nowhere, man. I don't remember this kid from last year. I don't know if I don't think he's a rookie. I really don't remember him playing much for the Cowboys last year. Someone tell me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But this is a kid that's kind of came on strong. When Michael Gallup went down, and he pretty much became that number two. He's pretty much became that number two. So I could see Okuda on CeeDee Lamb, and then whoever's going to be. It looks like Warrior is probably back as Will Harris, a little bit banged up. So we don't really know what's going on there. So it looks like Warrior will be on Brown, and then Michael Gallup. Who knows who's going to be on him? It could be Warrior could be on him too. So it could be a little bit of flip flop going on. You might see some Chase Lucas in there because we got all kinds of injuries going on. I believe Mike Hughes is probably going to be in there too as well. So, they got three capable tight ends. I mean, three capable wide receivers in there. Now the tight ends, they got some good tight ends. They use all three. They use Ferguson, they use Schultz, and they use Hendershot. So those guys are going to, hopefully Chris Board can play. He's a little bit banged up as well, too. He was limited in practice. He's questionable. He's got that knee. He's probably one of our best cover linebackers. We're going to see some, we might possibly see some Kirby Joseph out there. That's a little bit trouble. Juju Hughes, I don't know what's really going on with that. Ifeatu Melifonwu banged up. It doesn't look like Ifeatu is playing. I think he's out, right? He's out. So safety Ifeatu Melifonwu got that ankle injury. He's out. So you're going to see some Kirby Joseph. You're going to see some Deshaun Elliott out there. Hopefully Deshaun Elliott's probably going to be on Ferguson or Schultz. But they use all three of their tight ends. And then they have a pretty good O-line. It's not the best O-line. They're better at running the football. We can't stop the pass or run, but they're not as great in passing department, and they can pass blocking. So we're gonna have to try to give some stunts, some loops, some end arounds. We gotta get some of those defensive linemen free so they can make some plays. Now apparently this defense, our defense, Detroit Lions, are switching some stuff up, and we're supposed to be doing some different looks. They got Hutchinson out there, man, running with the linebackers during practice. They got guys moving all around. They want to see what's going to happen here. I'm curious to see how this defense looks. Apparently they're figuring things out as we go. I'm a little bit nervous. This is a mediocre offense in Dallas. It really is. It's not a great offense by any stretch. They can run the football a little bit, but other than that, they're nothing special. Dak's back. Okay, that's good, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He's none of that. But he can win the ball when needed. And we have one of the worst defenses in the planet. So I'm really worried about it. Now, before I get to the prediction, apparently the Lions are 8-1-1 since 2012, coming off the bye week. That's pretty impressive. That's 10 games. That's a nice winning percentage. You got 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie in those games since 2012. I'm still not picking the Detroit Lions here. I just can't. I can't pick him yet. I can't pick him because I don't know what their defense is going to do. I already have an idea what their offense can do, but they're going up against one of the badass defenses in the NFL. So it's two badass units, man. Us with offense, them on defense. So It's going to be a good. It's going to be a good tilt. It's going to be a good tilt. But I think we're going to score some points on them. But this is my prediction. I'm not going to pick Detroit Lions to win. I just can't yet until I see what's going on. I have to see it to believe it. You know, I'm sitting there being told on how to be a fan by some people. Like, this is the way you're supposed to be a fan. You're supposed to do this. No. I'm supposed to keep it real. I'm supposed to keep it real. Just because they're telling us a bunch of fluff doesn't mean it's going to happen. I want it to happen. Trust me, I do. But I have to see it first before I pick the Lions. I was told, don't jump on the bandwagon. What bandwagon? Like what? If they beat the Cowboys, that all of a sudden it's a bandwagon? I'd love for them to beat the Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys, man. And I know they can't. And I know Dallas Cowboy fans can't stand us. I don't know what it is. We're like we don't even like play each other much. Well, we play each other because we're both NFC teams, but we're not even the same division. But it doesn't matter, guys. I'm not picking Detroit Lions to win this game. My score prediction is 33-24, Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. We're going to drop to 1-5, and Dallas is probably going to go up to 5-2. Just the way I feel right now, guys. It's just the way I feel. I don't feel good about this team. There's nothing that gets me excited about this team right now. It's a lot of talk about what they're going to change up on defense. Now I have to see it. Because do you have the personnel to do it? What's going on? So that's it, guys. 33-24. Video's already 26 minutes long. Yikes. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for getting me to 2,000 subs, by the way, too. I really appreciate it. I'm going to come up with a video about that, too, as well. But thanks a lot, guys. Go Lions. One pride. Dallas pulling out the victory. I think it's going to be a good game, though. One pride, baby. Go Lions. Bam.